Welcome. This is Kings for Queens. I'm Comic Strategy. Over here to my right this time, your left, it's JS.
JS, the unknowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable, but sometimes knuckleheadish because we don't agree. But that's how life is. That's why we give different hosts to give different opinions to help you have a better understanding of the topics that we're dealing with. I'm not the 100% superstar on this. He's not the 100% superstar on this. We bring in experts, and they're not the 100% superstar on this. And I don't know who's trying to text me. But anywho.
But you ask me certain stuff, I'm a superstar, your ass. But you know.
What? Okay, so we're going to get started. So today's show, we are discussing the Council of Dating again. Last week we talked about co-workers with the superhero, Danielle Schutz. Today we're going to talk about sealing the foundation. What goes into the foundation? What does that mean? Well, as you know, a foundation is like a house. Like not like a house. It's the bottom part of the house. It keeps the house intact when you add the walls, etc. So each foundation has typically the same ingredients. But the way the foundation is constructed can be very different. So what we're talking about is just those ingredients that goes into every foundation. Council of Dating, we're going to discuss and formulate and put into place the ingredients for a proper foundation. Now, even with that being said, foundations are made differently across the world. So these are elements that are a guideline to help it be an easier process for you in the process of dating.
That's interesting that you use the house. Like you said, houses is built differently around the world.
They are.
I have a relationship hut. My stuff is made with leaves and bamboo.
Is everything all right, man?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So.
I have a tribal house. Go ahead.
Tribal house. That kind of go for this shirt.
Yeah,
so we're going to go ahead and get started on the first question. First question. The overall process of dating includes what 3 key ingredients? I'll go ahead and start.
Sounds good.
So the 3 key ingredients that I believe are part of the dating process, the starting of the process: communication, understanding, and respect. And those are non-negotiable. You have to have some kind of level of understanding, you have to have some kind of communication, and you have to have respect. Now, this is the one that people say, you don't need to have respect to actually date. There's plenty of people that don't respect their wife or husband, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is we're talking about dating well, not going through the motions. So if you want to do it right, you have to do it in a way that requires and includes respect. So those would be the 3 key ingredients. What would you think?
I would say you basically need the communication, understanding, respect throughout a healthy relationship, even if you are dating.
Yeah.
But those are good ones. But there would be some people that choose to say you don't have to have respect.
Yeah.
And you have to earn that respect. And it might, yeah, I would say so. But, you do have to have understanding and communication. If you don't have communication, oh my God. Your shit is a dump if you don't have communication. Y'all hear that out there, ladies? Communication.
Okay, so this show is for the ladies. So
communication.
You want to be able to communicate to the guy you're talking to your intentions. He needs to be able to do the same. Now, give you an example. Let's say you're on a date. and he asks you what you want to eat, and then you say,
don't ask that.
and you
They
say,
don't know.
whatever you choose, that's what you said. So when he chooses something, you can't get mad at the dude because he went stupid and chose Panda Express. I'll be pissed at that, but hey, you did say whatever you choose. Now, it is up to the man to do a better job of understanding who you are. I do agree with that, but that is not the place or time to try to test that. If you have a desire for Italian food, you should say, well, do you know of any Italian food places? Or I'd like to have some lasagna. That's a much better way to get what you're looking for as compared to whatever you choose. Now, I understand that you want a man that makes
Hey,
decisions.
cut that baby down.
Cut that
Back to the show. What were you saying, brother?
Anyways, you want to have a man that makes decisions. But when he's asking you a question, you have to be able to at least be willing to answer that question. Man, vice versa. If you ask a man a question and he is hemming and hawing and can't answer the question, that's not a good look, especially at the beginning of the date, because that's your first impression. First impressions are important. You can't discredit the first impression.
And that's why somebody say, hey, so where you want to go eat at? Because look, I know, if you say, where do you want to eat? It's always going to be Papa Do's. But we might not have Papa Do's money that day. And so when I ask you where you want to eat, most of the woman say, I don't know. Where do you want to eat? I want to eat at Papa Do's. But if a woman said to me, I want to eat at Papa Do's, and it was the first date, I would be like, well, damn. She's trying to spend all my money on. So it's just difficult. There was no point to that shit at all right? But still, you should know where you want to eat at. You know what I mean? But most women, through all my years, don't never know where they want to eat at. So we need to get that down pat. Maybe you should try saying like, hey, what kind of food would you like to eat? What kind of food would you like to eat? I don't know. What kind of food would you like to eat? Oh, damn. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So communication is important. Understanding is important. Respect at all costs. I would say throughout the relationship, yes. And I believe you give that immediately. Now, as time goes on, it should grow or shrink. But hopefully it doesn't shrink. If it's shrinking, then you don't have much going on.
What's my
Respect.
respect?
Yeah, gotta have respect.
You're supposed to.
And that's respect not just for the person, but for the children, but for the places they work, for the things that they say, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Have you ever had a woman lose respect for you?
It seems like every time I break up, a woman loses respect for me. So, you know, it's.
Did they tell you, or you could just notice in how they act?
Well, I haven't always been the best guy. And, you know, I've had my cheating moments, so understandable. Sometimes you don't have to do anything wrong, and all of a sudden a rumor pops out, and same situation. So I've had both.
So most of your losing respect has became from cheating, something that you did.
No, because I haven't done that often.
Okay.
I've done that a couple times.
Oh, okay.
But
you know, black men don't cheat though. So this is very rare out here, people.
I know you're pushing it. I know you're pushing.
This is very rare. This is very rare.
I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna stay
He's former.
humble.
You're a former cheater. You know what I mean? Former.
That's very true.
Yeah,
Definitely.
former cheater. That had to be years ago, right, brother?
And both of the times I did that, man, just so I felt
you
so
in your
bad.
20s,
I got caught
right?
both times
You
too.
was in your
I don't
20s,
know what
right?
I'm doing.
You in your 20s?
30s.
Oh, okay.
Both times 30s.
Well, you ain't there no more, so it's a
I'm
new life. It's a new life.
I'm a good 10 years out of doing that kind of stuff.
You know?
Okay.
Yes.
Ow. All right, so next question. Question number 2. We'll look at the screen here. The 3 things we are getting rid of in a new dating foundation. So in the old dating foundation, there was these elements that were part of the dating process that we're going to actually get rid of because they don't need to be in the mix. So, JS, I'll let you answer that question first.
3 things we are getting rid of in a new dating foundation.
Yes.
I don't know if I got 3, but I would say would say you're getting rid of a lot of the. You got 20 minutes. I was. I would say we want to get rid of a lot of the times when, you know, like you were saying, uh, uh, the communication aspect of it.
So lack of communication.
Yeah, a lot of times the lack of communication at the beginning, and you know we put on these different roles.
Yeah.
And we just don't come forward and
The representative.
The representative.
Yes.
But you know, you get the representative for a while. The representative stays at least 2 months. Most
2
times,
months.
yeah, you have that representative that shows up, and
Yes.
you never get that real. So I would just say, you want to get people to be themselves, and I know that's difficult because social media plays a large part in us not being ourselves these days. You know what I mean?
That definitely doesn't help. So you would say, although it's 3, you got 2. The 2
Yeah.
being lack of communication, which is a good one, and representatives, which is also good. So I would say, actually one of those is representatives. So
Yeah.
I would say hesitation, because that is a dating deal breaker, because that just kills dates. So you're hesitating. What do I mean? You procrastinate. You're trying to find excuses as to whether they're not, either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. So what are you doing? Representatives, yes. We are pulling that out of foundation. So I'm going to explain how to actually deal with representatives so that you know you're dealing with a representative and not the actual person. And then hardcore rules, you know, those kind of rules that are like etched in stone, like 90-day rules. Now, I understand the 90-day rules, and hey, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But it shouldn't be like, the rules shouldn't supersede the relationship. The relationship should be way more important. So, what I mean by that is the relationship goals should supersede the rules. Now, I know Steve Harvey wrote a book, and you know a lot of people read it. I've never read the book, so I'm not going to critique it. But those are supposed to be guidelines, not set in stone, etched in glass rules, hardcore rules. You gotta have to do it this way. That's what gets a lot of people in trouble.
I don't know.
Everybody
Nobody follow that book though. They might. We found people trying it at the beginning. I mean, when it first came out, but now it's like we grown. You know what I mean? We grown. Not that bad.
You know, I have no problem with rules as long as the rules don't change the relationship. If you're both going in the right direction, to stick to some rules because you think that's just, you should do it, doesn't make any sense. So those are the 3 things going out. So yeah. So the next question, I'll go over here to my trusty computer. What is the mindset of a healthy dater in 2019? So this is a good one. So
Really.
so here it is. So a person a person healed enough from the past who knows what they want and has the self-confidence to take a calculated risk. That is the mindset, stay focused, the mindset of a healthy dater. So first of all, you gotta be healed. What does that mean? You can't allow what happened in the past to dictate what's going on in the future. Learn from it, but then move forward. See, notice my hands are leaving the screen so that it's no longer an issue or a part of your dating process. Because if you keep on to it, it's going to destroy every single future date until you let it go.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
So, how does a person know if they are healed?
When they can actually look at that person or think about that person, and they all of a sudden go back into flashback mode. Or when they see something and they're like, oh, I know what this is. I know what this is. This is when this person did this, and it all of a sudden connects.
Because it would seem that we were always like, we would almost never be healed. Like we would have, the hurt may be gone. You
Yeah.
have to take the hurt away. But it seemed like it will always be there. It seemed like it would always be there, but we could take that hurt away from it. Because
Now-
have you ever, you have somebody that you might have been with in the past, and they came back, or you've come back and say, you know what, I want to apologize, you know, how I was acting back then. This was years ago. I've had this happen, and they understand more now since they've been in more relationships, just like you have. And you can say, yeah, I might have been tripping then too. You know what I mean? If I would have, you know, took another step or sat back and thought about it, it could have been better. But, you know, we all gotta heal. You know?
You definitely have to have healing and growth of some nature. If you don't, it causes it just destroys your relationship. So that's
Yeah.
a big deal. So, and then the other part is the self-confidence. Typically, when you've come out of a bad relationship or a bad situation, self-confidence, whether you believe it or not, starts to go down. You start doubting yourself. You start wondering if the situation that you went through, you kind of caused or whatever, those kind of things, which none of which is true. Even if you did, that doesn't mean that you can't learn from it and move on and get better. 9 times out of 10, when someone treats you poorly, 9 times out of 10, it's not your fault. Just because you may have said something or did something doesn't necessarily mean you deserve poor treatment. And then
Trigger something in their past.
that's very true. And then the other thing is you have to be willing to take a risk. And that's the part of dating that people don't want to do. Because they took a risk and it failed. The wealthiest of people are wealthy because they continue to take risks even when they had at the time failed 100% of the time. Eventually they hit. The makers of 405, that grease spray that you can spray on stuff, failed 404 times. Is it 405? It is 405. 400.
409.
Okay, so I got the numbers wrong. But
You see, you don't be cleaning, bro.
the makers
I was
of
like, what freeway? What freeway is that?
409 failed 408 times. What do I mean by that? They tried to sell their product 408 times to 408 different companies and got 408 no's. So it was that 409th time someone said, we'll go. Multi-millionaires. And so they kept going. So that's kind of the process mindset you have to have. But that's tough to do when you put your heart all into it and you get burned every time. So part of the dating process as well, the mentality is I'm going to go in this with an open mindset, with an understanding of what to look for, what not to look for, which we'll discuss as we continue on with this process. But you have to take a risk. You have to take a risk. Yes, there's a good chance that it might fail. That does not devalue who you are as a person or your effort.
So get your numbers up.
Okay. I'm not necessarily saying get your numbers up. I know where you're going with that.
Get your numbers up. You know what I mean? So in that way, you know what I mean? You ain't sitting down and hurt.
Oh man. Okay. So let's go to the next segment.
Yes. You know.
Okay. Okay. So I'll let you ask.
All right. Okay. Number one. What 3 things should we look for on the first date?
On the first date, you should look for attraction, mutual interest, and probably mutual attraction is probably, when I say attraction, that should be mutual attraction, mutual interest, and authenticity. So we tend to go into the dating process thinking, hey, what kind of job you have, what do you like, what do you don't like. Those things are all cool, and you probably should get to know those things as time progresses. But first date, only thing you really care about is, are you entering an authentic situation? So instead of reading, okay, okay, on my list, he's got a job, he's got a car, he's got a house. That's great. That's not necessarily great if he's not authentic, if he's not sincerely giving you mutual interest, and he's not attractive to you. So those would be the three things you should look for on a first date.
Sounds good.
What do you think?
I would say sexiness. Bam.
Okay.
You want to look for, if like you were saying, if y'all have something in common.
Yeah.
If y'all have something in common, that that always works. You want to give a mental evaluation. Make sure they're not crazy.
Yeah.
Because that can mess everything up, even your life. So you want to make sure that they're not damn crazy as hell.
Yes.
And vice versa. You know what I mean? And vice versa. He might want to make sure you're not crazy also. So,
Yeah.
So if, and it might be what you are into. You know what I mean? So I can give examples, but you might be into that, and I might be wrong. So I won't give no damn examples. But, you might want to look for it.
Okay.
I'm on one today, by the way.
Yeah, I see. So, next question.
Yeah. All right. What should be the mood at the end and the beginning of the date, the first date?
Okay. Well, you should have some level of excitement. It shouldn't be like crazy, like I just won $1 million excitement, but some level of it. And it should be the same, or actually a little more, at the end of the date. You also should have a level of reservation. Now, I mentioned taking a risk. Well, you already took the risk by go ahead and take it on a date, but you should be reserved in your actions. Not to say that you need to tone everything down, but you don't want to seem too excited or too happy about it, because it just gives men the wrong mentality in a dating experience. They start thinking, "Oh, I got this one," or "Yeah, we're having sex tonight." And, that's not what you're trying to. You're just happy that someone was genuine, authentic.
He's a loser.
Well, he probably is, but this is part of the process, though. I mean,
He's
this
a
is
loser.
one of the things that we're discussing. We're discussing what you should do in that situation, so that you don't bring the loser to thinking, "Hey, we definitely don't want that."
I mean, you don't want to be too excited.
Yeah.
Just be cool. You know what I mean? Go out and, like you said, be reserved, kick it, try to have a good time. If you're having a good time, both of y'all end up having a good time if y'all have mutual interests. So just go out and be yourself and have a good time. You know what I mean? Don't think too much into it. When you do, you'll start messing up. So.
Well, that's true. You don't want to have any kind of expectations for the first date.
Don't have any expectations. Don't be thinking like, "Oh, I wonder where this going to lead."
Yeah,
just go out and have a good time.
Relax, enjoy the moment, enjoy the time,
Right.
and then after the date, you need to do like a diffusing and think, okay, what was good, what was bad, and be honest with yourself. Be honest with whatever red flags you may have seen, whatever concerns you might have. Be honest about how you present yourself. Did you do a good job doing that? Were you able to be comfortable? Was there any time where you felt comfortable? Awkward moments are a part of every first date. Probably, I would say first, second, and third date. You're going to have awkward moments. It should be less and less as the dates continue to, happen. But first date, you're going to have the most awkward times. You're going to say things that don't make sense. Be willing to laugh at yourself. And the reason why I mentioned excitement is you don't want to walk into the room like you're going to a funeral, because you tend to tense up. When I say you, I mean everybody that goes on a date tends to tense up because they're like, "I don't know what's going to happen,"
Yeah, and also look and see if he got a suntan on his ring finger. You know what I mean? Like he took the shit off that night.
It's okay. Okay.
It'll tell you, it'll be light right here. Like, yo, what do you have a ring on? Like, yeah.
How'd you wash your hand just right there, real hard?
Yeah, you know what I mean? You might want to look out for that.
Why is your skin flaky around that finger?
You know what I mean? They like, I got eczema on this one finger.
You didn't want to put no lotion on that one spot?
You know what I mean? Alright. Name what is a red flag versus what is a preference?
A red flag is something like, I wrote it down. It's like a man talking about his achievements the entire date. That's a red flag because he's trying to seal the deal with what he has done. But he has done nothing to explain to you what he's willing to bring to the table. Basically, he said, I've already done everything I need to do. So you should be cool with that. It's not a good thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And then a preference is like the height of a person. So, if you prefer someone who's taller, that's not a red flag. If he's a little shorter than you like, you could still see where this goes. But if the attraction is just not there, then fine. But don't make that a red flag when it's only a preference.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's just a preference. I had thought of something I was about to say, but I would not say it. It would get me in trouble. So, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay. You are on one
I
today.
had a point. I was like, oh, don't say it. Everybody will be in the comments. I was like, yo, he's an asshole.
It's probably very
true. So I ain't gonna say it. All right, we gonna go into Dear JS.
Dear JS.
All right, let's go to the first one.
All right.
I love my man, but he is not circumcised. It's beginning to be a problem. Is it normal for an adult to get circumcised at 28? No, it is not normal for a man to get circumcised at 28. He might have a fucking heart attack. As I know I would. If somebody told me they had to take something off of my Johnson, I'd be like, yo, this is not working. They're going to have to put me out for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? So you're just going to have to ride with that. If you're just going to have to ride with that point blank. You know what I mean? What about you, brother?
It is not normal for an adult to get circumcised. I mean, if it didn't happen before 5, I know people in the Jewish belief, I think they have theirs at 13. That just sounds painful.
I would have had that shit on the first day at the hospital like we all do.
So, that's not normal.
They treat
Either
it
way,
like
you slice
like a damn ear piercing or something. No, you look at that shit taken off the end. Stop playing around.
So no, that's not normal. You have to get over it. I mean, obviously, you and your man have been getting busy all this time. All of a sudden, you have a problem with it. You should have said something at the beginning. If that's that big of a deal, you need to address it. You need to have a conversation. If it's just too much, you need to move on. I'm glad that my parents decided to do the snippy snip. I hear the stories, and I don't want to be a part of that.
Just get it done, man.
Just get it
Yeah, when you're young. Alright. Dear JS, I have a rotation. Monday through Friday, I get wined and dined by a different man each day. It's been great until my Tuesday man left the rotation and found a true love.
Oh.
I miss him and want him back in my rotation. But he is committed to his fiance and have even blocked my phone calls. Why do I feel so bad and alone, even though I still have 4 loyal men wanting to please me? Alright, sister. Let me tell you, you need to get over that shit. I'm glad he left your ass alone. I mean, for real, man, yo, you got a rotation. Go sit your ass down somewhere. You too grown for that. But I'm sure a lot of women do have rotations like this. Hey, wish him the best. Let him. I'm happy he got out your rotation. Let him go with a fiance and move on to true love. You're gonna have to get over that. You gotta put all 3 of them other brothers into one and make it happen. Because, hey, I'm sorry you feel bad, but it's just the way it is, man.
So you have 4 superficial relationships. You had 5, but you lost Mr. Tuesday. Mr. Tuesday said peace. So you're not going up on a Tuesday. It's rough. Uh, but it's a bigger deal. You are trying to replace something inside with this satisfaction you get from five men whining and dining you. And one leaving changed your whole attitude. And the crazy thing is, it's not like you want him because you want to be with him. It's like you want him back in the rotation. So what are you really looking for? You need to do some soul searching. I know you have these rotating sex dolls that buy you food, and hey, congratulations. I don't know what else you're really getting out of this situation. I mean, as a man, I've had situations like that where I've had like 2 or 3, 4 ladies. It was not in a rotation per se, but at the end of the day, though it was cool at the time, I look back on it and realized that I was just empty and was making just bad decisions. It wasn't not a good thing to have that kind of a setup.
You never had a real connection with anybody.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to have a serious connection when you have 3 or 4 women, well, women for me, but men for you, going after it like that. So, yeah, so there's something deep down inside that you need to do some soul searching. Love, Jesus, something. You need to get, love and Jesus. Just get both. Just put them right in your heart. You'll be better off. Dump the 4-man rotation. Start going on a couple of trips, and really seek out what you're looking for, because you're not getting it with that process. And I know I love that song from Megan Thee Stallion, Big Old Freak, and she looked good and all, but I'm not gonna be part of a rotation.
I don't know that song.
You don't know that song? That's interesting. Okay.
I personally don't know that song.
I actually had a situation. I was working in Denver at the airport, and there was a lady there, beautiful Egyptian lady. I mean, she was extremely, she looked like a supermodel, and she worked at the airport. I'm like, why are you working at the airport? You should be you're selling magazines, you should be on the magazines.
So you're saying if women are too fine, they don't need to work?
I'm saying that you should not be working for a minimum wage at the airport, yes. So, yes, you missed your call.
So if you fine enough, you're supposed to have to be making money.
Well, I'm just saying. Why you know what?
I'm just being the devil. That's all.
You are all one day, but it's all good. So now that I've made my sexist statements, my point was, I was like, hey, I'm gonna shoot my shot. So I did. She's like, okay, cool. You can be part of my rotation. So I'm talking about this from experience. She tried to put me in her rotation. She said I had a little too much stomach fat. She was gonna give me Wednesday. And she is like, no, you kind of cute. Yeah, we can do this. I like you. I was like, oh, great. Okay, great. She's like, so I'll see you on Wednesday. I'm like, what do you mean, like, you want to go somewhere? I was like, no, you're part of my rotation. So she started talking about how she had someone on Monday, Tuesday. She had like 6 dudes. So I didn't do it.
On off day? Dang.
Well, I would have made 7. So, it is what it is. So, anyways,
She having sex with all?
if you're part of a rotation, what's going on? I mean, you're not playing patty cake. What are you doing? Giving foot massages? You making oatmeal? Grits with sugar in them? I mean, no. They were...
I don't want none of that.
I don't either. But it's apparently not unusual. It is what it is. So with that, that's our show. Kings for Queens. I'm Comic Strategy. Over here is JS. We're going to be back next week to continue on with this Council of Dayton. We talked today about the foundation. I don't know why I'm forgetting what I'm saying. The foundation, what parts should go into it. And the following week, we're going to talk about preparation for the process. What to do before you go on that first date. And all the good things that come with that. All right, this is Comic Strategy. JS, Kings for Queens. Thanks for watching. We are out.